So good news and not so good news. Still on the dissection of the global goals when it comes to the Agenda 2030. So the good news is that globally, Uganda and Ghanaian women are topping the chart when it comes to entrepreneurship, specifically with women leading in businesses, having small scale businesses, and also to ensure that they have their own they have their own sources of livelihood and income through their establishing their own income. Establishing their own business. So this is a very good news. Uganda is leading just by about 2%, so about 39, and then Ghana is about 37, which is really good, remarkable. Globally, we are talking about globally, not just on the continent, but this is a global picture that it has. So great, really, really great when it comes to this, yeah. Well, and not so good news is that when you bring it to much more of a regional direction, youth and women in sub-Saharan Africa continue to remain unemployed. And this is hampering the SDGs Goal 8, which is decent work and economic growth. And this is very directly connected to the pandemic, climate impact, and wars, conflict, and all sort of destabilization of geopolitical and also geographical landscapes, which is having a direct impact on the economy, job creations, wealth acquisition, and all that. So this is a very clear and also landmark when it comes to creating jobs and also ensuring decent work and economic growth. So SDG Goal 8, unfortunately, seems to be one of the goals that is really lagging and staggering behind when you compare it to the growth of different goals. And also with the discourses of Agenda 2030 in the picture. Now let's look at another goal, which is the Goal 9, which is resilient and industry, innovation, and infrastructure. This seems to have a very good and positive aspect when it comes to the goals and also attaining attaining what they have set it for. So let's say still the goals. When it comes to industries like freight and maritime and freight and industries, it seems to have reached a certain landmark, which is very significant, even though it also has its challenges when it comes to carbon emissions and freight. But another interesting thing that makes it much more significant to achieve this landslide progress is that when you look at this projection, that is countries that are in the developing world are now turning into more of importers than exporters. How interesting is that? More countries are now importing product and also exporting less of raw materials. For instance, less cocoa beans, less coffee beans, and all these, they are rather being produced halfway and then exported, which is having a very good significance when it comes to freight and maritime and also exports. And all these also contributes to the carbon emissions reduction when it comes to freight and all that. So statistically, it has shot from 6.2 and also 10.3 tons between the years 2000 and also 2015, which is a very good significant landmark when it comes to the reaching of Agenda 2030 and so Goal 8 and Goal 9. This is just a brief about it. Now going back to Goal 8, let me just put it in statistics that about 5.0% of people still remain informally employed. What do you mean by informally employed? Not having proper contracts, not enjoying decent work and economic freedom when it comes to work, when it comes to employment. So most of the time, the employees are being taken advantage of. Black market when it comes to employment and all these things. So these are all contributing factors that are really hampering decent work and economic growth. We can talk about the extension of pensions. You can talk about insurances. It has a very strong, significant impact on all these areas. So this is just to give a little bit of a clearer picture when it comes to how the decent work and economic growth is being hampered. And it goes into different angles, but for now we will just leave it here. So this is just also a brief about the Goal 8 and Goal 9 for this period. I'd like to know what you think about these discussions, and yes, so happy to know more. And those of you sharing the videos and also liking and saving them, I am so grateful to you. Yeah, so thank you so much, and see you sometime soon. Hello.